Have you ever had those days when you are not exactly crying, like you're just sad, and then you don't even know why? You're not happy, everything just feels wrong. Nobody offended you. You woke up, went about your day, maybe even laughed with someone, but somewhere inside you, there's this hollow feeling you can't explain. You just feel sad. And the strange thing about sadness is that sometimes you don't even know why you are sad. You just know that something feels different. You don't want to talk, you don't want to explain yourself, you don't necessarily want someone to fix anything. You just want to be left alone for a little while. And yet, being alone can make it worse. So you pick up your phone, you scroll, you watch other people's lives. Someone just got married, someone is traveling, someone launched a business, someone grad, even someone bought a new car. Someone is living the life you thought you would be living by now. And suddenly, the sadness you couldn't explain has a name. You start wondering, what am I doing with my life? How am I not there yet? Why does everyone seem to be moving except me? And sometimes you don't even realize you are comparing. You just keep scrolling and scrolling until someone else's highlight becomes the measuring stick for your own life. But here is something we don't actually talk about. You're allowed to have sad days. You don't have to turn every difficult emotion into a lesson immediately. You don't have to wake up every morning and be grateful enough to never feel disappointed. You don't have to force yourself to smile because someone else has it worse. Your pain doesn't become invalid simply because someone else's pain is greater. Sometimes you're just tired. Sometimes you've been carrying too many things for too long. Sometimes you are grieving something you never got to have. Sometimes you are grieving a version of yourself, the person you thought you'll become by now, the life you thought you have, the opportunities you thought would come, the relationship you thought would work, the person you thought would stay. Sometimes sadness is simply your heart saying, I've been holding this for a while. And maybe you need to listen, not judge it, not shame yourself for feeling it. Just just listen, because there's a difference between feeling sadness and becoming your sadness. You can have a bad day without having a bad life. You can feel lost without actually being lost forever. You can be behind on one thing and still be making progress somewhere else. And you can cry without being weak. You can rest without being lazy. You can admit, today I'm not okay, without believing that you will never be okay again. And if you are someone who believes in Allah, I want to remind you this too. Feeling sad doesn't mean you've lost your faith. There were people beloved to Allah who experienced grief. There were moments of loneliness. There were moments of uncertainty. So don't punish yourself for having emotion. Take them to Allah. Even if all you can say is, Yeah Allah, I don't even know what's wrong with me, but you know. That is still a conversation with your creator. You don't always need beautiful words. Sometimes your heart is too tired to form them. Sometimes all you can do is sit quietly and say, Yeah, Allah, help me. And that's enough to begin. So, tonight, if you are feeling unusually sad, please don't immediately conclude that something is wrong with your life. Put the phone down for a little while, drink some water, take a shower, open your window, write down what you are feeling, make solar, make dua, call someone you trust if you need company. And if this sadness has been following you for a long time, if it's affecting your sleep, your appetite, your studies, your work, your relationship, or simply making everyday life feel impossible, please don't romanticize it. You don't have to suffer silently. Reach out, talk to someone, a counselor, a therapist, a trusted person. Getting help doesn't mean you are weak. It means you are human enough to recognize when you need support. And perhaps most importantly, don't compare your quietest moment to someone else's loudest ones. You don't know what happened after the picture. You don't know what happened when the camera is off. You don't know what they are carrying, and they don't know what you are carrying either. Your life doesn't have to look impressive every day to be meaningful. Some sadness are loud, some sadness are beautiful, some sadness are painfully quiet, and some sadness are simply for answering. So if today is one of those quiet heavy days, breathe. You don't have to figure everything out tonight. Tomorrow is still allowed to be different. And if all you managed to do today was keep going, maybe that was enough. Sometimes it looks like learning that you can be sad and still believe that better days are coming. Anyways, this is the counselor's kitchen, a little space for conversation about the things we don't always know how to say. And if this found you on a difficult day, I hope you remember you are not your sadness. You are simply a person going through a moment, and moments do pass.